today we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to be talking about a lower class Elizabethan costume and all the different layers and what they would wear. I've been wanting to do some kind of more of these type of videos like this, kind of like I did with my vintage underpinnings, but I wasn't really able to do them before because I didn't have a dress form, and I'm not really comfortable modeling my underpinnings on a YouTube video to put on the internet. But now that I have a dress form, we can go ahead and see what we would wear. Like I said before, this is going to be for more of a lower class Elizabethan outfit. So first we are going to start with our shift. It's basically a big, nice tunic, usually be made of linen. Alright, next would be the petticoat layer, and they, depending on obviously how wealthy you were, how many you could afford, and the weather, you could have various numbers of petticoats that you would wear underneath your dress. Mine is just, I think, 3 yards of linen that has been box pleated onto a waistband. Now this waistband I made to be slightly larger than my waist on my costume, so that the petticoat will sit a little bit lower than the waist, which removes bulk from the waist area. And usually I have a tie to tie this on, but I'm just going to pin it for right now. Here, so there'll be the petticoat. Next we're going to have the partlet layer. Now sometimes the partlets were worn on top, on the outer layer, and I have an outer layer partlet as well, but I just particularly like the look of the partlet inside of the dress. I'm gonna snap it, there we go. Now the purpose of the partlet is, first off, it is going to protect your chest area from getting sunburnt. Also can give you a little bit of modesty, although depending on what style of partlet you have, it was still socially acceptable to show some cleavage. And the other thing that a partlet does is it gives you a place for a little bit of a ruff going on here that was very fashionable during the Elizabethan period. So there's your partlet. Mine closes with snaps, although you could also have them pinned closed or tie with a ribbon underneath. Next we're going to be putting on our curdle. Now my curdle, if you can see on the inside, this is not actually boning, this is hemp cord, which I use for the supportive layer. In lower class you probably wouldn't have had a fully boned corset, first off because they're expensive, and also because it's very difficult to do any kind of those day-to-day activities that normal people would have to do when you're wearing a fully boned corset. Alright, you can see this, and it just laces in the front. During this period they had front lacing garments, back lacing garments, side lacing garments. I just chose the front lacing so that it would be very easy for me to get into by myself. Alrighty. And now the way these would have laced, which is how I'm doing it right now, is in a spiral lacing, which is not the same kind of lacing we're used to as far as, you know, lacing your shoelaces or even lacing later corsets, you know, like a Victorian corset. It's actually offset and you can kind of see the zigzag going on here. This mannequin is not exactly the same size as me, but you can see it would lace all the way closed. On me, it doesn't have this little gap. And also, I'm definitely more well endowed than this dress form here, so the chest area is a little loose. Let's see, we tie the laces off. Now, the front part of the skirt just stays open. I do have a little hook and eye right at the top to kind of help that stay closed, but the pleating detail on the skirt is going to keep that closed. And again, this is about 3 yards of fabric and it's box pleated on here, and then on the back are some double box pleats just so there's a little bit more oomph in the back than in the front. Alright, this is a detailing, it's called a guard, and it would be just simple self fabric strips in some kind of very basic design around the dress. That would be properly. Usually these would be wool. Next I have sleeves. Mine I made reversible. They have red on the inside, brown on the outside, and they're also detachable, although it was more common to have attached sleeves in this period, but just for costuming purposes, so my outfit could be a little bit more versatile. And these sleeves are just pinned on to the garment. Now I do need to get some pins that don't have quite such large heads on them, so that they're less visible. I have also seen these kind of sleeves with a small hand-sewn eyelet, one right at the top of the sleeve and also one right on the shoulder strap of the Curdle, and then just tied with some ribbon or string or twine or something. Maybe not twine, some kind of string or ribbon. So there are the sleeves. They're not necessarily match the garment the way we like to do matchy-matchy. And then you could also have an apron on the front of here, especially if you're lower class. Any kind of working woman would be wearing an apron. I don't have an apron yet for mine. And then this is an example of an outer partlet that would be worn on top of the garment, kind of like a little bolero. This one is lined in faux fur for the winter. Although you would also find them with black linen or wool on the outside and then white linen on the inside, or also an all white partlet on the outside. And again, these could close underneath with ties, or mine is going to have snaps at some point in time. And then again, the front. Pinned together. Or if you are more of an upper class, you could do this with a little brooch or pin. That would be very pretty. So there we go. There is our fully dressed Elizabethan lower class. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave those down in the comment section. And thanks for watching.